I told you I'll be there as planned in 15 minutes, not 1 second earlier. Working breakfasts.
Do you really have to go, Charles?
Yes, I'm afraid so, fortunately.
Oh, well, since I have the whole lonely morning ahead of me, maybe I'll just go do some shopping.
What for?
Well, for my wedding outfit, silly.
Yeah, what's that include?
Well, you know, the usual. Dress, shoes, purse, hat.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
How much?
Well, why don't you just give me a check?
How much?
Well, you know, it's hard to say about these things. Well, you know, why don't you just leave it blank?
Nancy, you know I don't like to do things like that.
Well, Charles, I don't know how much it'll come to. It's hard to know.
Well, then estimate. I can be generous.
Charles, you don't trust me, do you?
Nancy, trust has absolutely nothing to do with this.
Oh, Charles.
Oh, all right. Here. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, look how many people do it and get away with it.
Peter, that doesn't make it right.
I see your point. Oh, no.
Mom, when are you going to do something about the house dog?
Are you all right?
Barely.
Hey, Charlie! Get away from there!
My, aren't we brave?
I'm going to have a talk with him again this evening.
A lot of good that'll do. He never listens.
Well, sooner or later, reason has to win out.
Oh, Mom, remember who you're talking about.
Finished breakfast already?
Just?
Why, are you looking for a free meal?
No, I'm not looking for a free meal. Don't you have to brush your teeth or something?
No, I don't.
Why then don't you go outside and mow the lawn?
Now, why didn't I think of that?
Because I'm smarter than you.
The things I do for family harmony.
What's on your mind?
Russ,
Again?
I thought it was bad last time. Since Becky's left him, he's convinced himself that I'm the true love of his life.
Oh?
Well, try not to get all worked up over it.
What do you expect me to say?
Don't you want to hear how it happened?
I already know how it happened.
How?
Well, your interest in Russ when he's having difficulties with Becky.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, apparently it's not. Ben and I warned you.
Well, I certainly didn't come over here for this.
Look, I'm sorry if I'm not giving you what you want to hear. But you didn't listen to me before. And I don't want to waste any more time repeating it.
Well, the last time you gave me advice, you said just let things be. How can I ignore someone who constantly tells me how much he loves me?
True.
Well, then what do you suggest?
I'd set him straight as clearly and as fast as possible, because if you don't, there's going to be even more trouble.
Well, look who's here.
Good morning, Mrs. Redley.
Well, if you're feeling as good as you look, I'd say your troubles are just about over.
Well, I do feel much better. I do. I guess I've been very fortunate that I've never really been sick, except this.
Oh, just a temporary setback.
I hope so.
Don't you start to doubt it, child. You know it's true.
Well, you see, that's just it. I'm sure it is true, but there are some others who want to make me stay here for a while.
Well, who would want to do such a thing?
My father, he's trying to do something legally to keep me from leaving.
Well, why?
Well, I'm not sure. That's just it. I'm really confused about it. I think maybe he's angry at me.
Oh, well, even he could see how well you're doing.
Well, yes, he should, but that's Daddy. You see, I'm not his little girl anymore. I'm learning that I am an adult and I should start acting like one. But I guess he liked me better the way I was before.
Oh, most parents struggle to get their children to stand on their own.
Well, I think that he feels that I don't love him anymore. That isn't true at all, of course.
Well, are you doing anything to stop it?
Yes, that's very unpleasant, though.
Oh, well, don't worry about it. As the psalmist said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken. Now, what are you going to do when you get out?
If I get out.
No more of that?
Well, I was talking to Terry Davidson before about her finding me a place to stay, but that was before it all happened.
Well, can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
You see, I just happen to live in this big house all by myself. Why don't you come and stay with me until you get back on your feet? I'd love to come in. I'm sure you would, too.
That's very generous, but why would you make such an offer? You hardly know me.
Oh, yes, I do.
Let me get this straight now. You, don't want to use my legal services?
Well, not exactly, no.
And, this isn't a courtesy call?
No.
Well, excuse me, but I'm just a little bit confused.
Well, it's hard to say right out.
Somebody after you?
Maybe. Look. Why don't you just let me tell you what happened? The other day I was out walking. Cool it, baby cakes. This was a real walk. Through a park.
Of course.
I saw this woman there with her kid. And she looked real familiar, you know, and it hit me. We was in high school together. Well, I watched him from the bench for a while, and they was on the swings, and well, finally I got up enough nerve to say hello to her.
Didn't go so well?
Didn't go so well. She picked up her kid like I was dirt or something. And she's right. I mean, what am I? I'm the bad girl who got worse. And I hate it. I want to be like Marjorie Lowell. I want to take my kid to the park and push her on the swings.
It's not going to be so easy.
No kidding. Ronnie told me he'd kill me if I ever tried to leave.
Don't you think maybe he's just trying to scare you?
No. Will you help me?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll help you.
Tammy, the elite are here.
Hello, Ian. And you too, Gil.
Thanks a lot. You know, that's what I really like about you. You make me feel like I'm at home.
Park yourselves. I'll be with you in a minute.
What were you saying?
Oh, so anyway, I says to this guy, I says, you know who you're talking to? And he says, yeah. And that's followed by something I'm too polite to repeat. And that started the whole thing.
Oh, who won?
Who won?
Yeah.
Who won?
Yeah. Come on, huh?
Now you're thinking. Here you go. Oh, man. Boy, it's hot outside.
Tammy, can you turn up the air conditioner there?
Oh, good idea. With all the hot air that just blew in, we're gonna need it. Now, what'll it be, boys?
Well, what does Cookie recommend today?
Oh, I'd ask, but he's out to lunch.
Smart, man. Smart.
You're telling me.
Cheeseburgers.
Yeah, and fries?
Sounds good. How about 3 ice-cold beers, too?
Make that just 2, okay?
Oh, come on, Dominic.
Gil knows glasses change your personality if you empty them enough.
No, I'm not taking any chances. You know how your father feels about drinking during working hours, right?
Do you see anybody working around here? Or do you see my father? Huh?
I'm sorry. How's the iced tea? Good?
You remember the hot tea you had this morning?
Yeah.
Oh, now it's got ice in it.
Well, there you go.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll have some of that.
Okay, 3 cheeseburgers, 3 fries, 2 beers, and 1 iced tea. Be right back.
Okay.
Now, you're not going to let my dad sit here, are you? Huh?
Hey, fellas, what's happening?
Hey, here he is.
Leon.
Here he is. Leon's Diner, a man who's a legend in his own spare time. All right.
Do you fellas come here so often because the food's so good or because Tammy's so attractive?
I'd say they're both about the same.
Hey, you better watch her, Gil. She's one of those people that find it easy to separate the men from the boys, or woman.
And she's got a mean left hook.
Hey, now, how's that fine car I sold you?
Oh, it's running like a dream. Like a
Yeah, a
dream.
dream that makes you wake up in a cold sweat.
You having problems with it?
Nah, I don't listen to him just because some of us don't drive around in a fancy little sports car.
Yeah, well, if you have any trouble, I want to be the first to know. After all, I do have a reputation to protect.
Yeah, he got that stoop living up to his ideals.
You know, I never get any respect from my employees.
You know, maybe you start paying your employees enough and you will. Around here, we work our fingers to the bone, and what do we get?
Yeah, bony fingers. Now, get back in the kitchen and roll them pots and pans.
Hey, you better watch that, Leon. I mean, women like that's hard to find.
Yeah, because they're always hiding from work. Excuse me. I don't hear no rattling in the kitchen.
Yeah, and I got this hot secretary who's just dying to hear from you. Oh, guys. Phone call?
Can you believe that guy? How's he doing? Hey, hold it. If you want one, why don't you just order?
Hey, what do you say, guys? I think I gave you ample warning about what would happen if you broke your promise about drinking.
Yes, sir, you did.
Mr. Prescott.
Stay out of this. Punch out. You're through.
Terry Davidson. Isn't that what her name is?
Yeah, something like that.
Know thy enemy.
Why, Cher, I never figured you for the jealous type.
You never figured me as anything but. I'm very possessive of what's mine, Jason.
And am I yours?
Good question. Where were you last night?
Out.
With her?
Does it really make that much difference?
Silly question, wouldn't you say?
Perhaps.
I'm glad this is all so amusing to you.
Oh, come on, Frosty, ease up.
I will not ease up. We have a relationship, an understanding. I'd like to think it's a comfortable one. At least I'm comfortable in it. But obviously you're not.
Sure I am.
Then why do you find it necessary to chase around after someone else?
My relationship with Terry Davidson is strictly professional.
Don't give me that line.
I'm not giving you any kind of
I said don't do it, Jason. And what about us? Dissatisfied?
Of course not.
Of course not. You get to play it both ways.
Well, now, wait a minute. You could at least hear my explanation.
I'm listening.
Yes?
Peter Davidson here to see you, sir.
My, doesn't he have wonderful timing? Here for his father and son chat?
I'll tell him to come back.
Don't bother. That pretty well confirms my suspicions anyway.
Send him in.
Mr. Prescott?
Come on in.
Yeah, about that incident at lunch.
Yes?
Look, Don didn't have anything to do with that. It was me that ordered the beer. He just took it from me so I wouldn't get in trouble.
What?
Yes, sir.
And you did that having full realization of the policy of the company.
I guess so.
You guess so? What do you mean you guess so? How dare you pull a stunt like that knowing what the rules are? You think those rules were made for fun?
No, sir.
They were there because of the danger you and the crew if you're on the job and you're not at total capacity. Now, let me tell you something, Davidson. I ever catch you pulling a stunt like that again, or even suspect of you doing it, you're all through with the company. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
What's that?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now get out of the office.
Come in.
Slaymaker?
Yes?
I'm sorry.
May I ask what you find so amusing?
I guess I was expecting a man.
Sorry to have disappointed you.
Oh, no.
I assume here for a reason.
Yes, I'm here to file a petition on behalf of Miriam Carpenter Mason.
May I see it, please?
Oh, yes, of course. And I hope it will convince you that she's mentally stable and how ridiculous this whole suit is.
Thank you.
I've also included her previous medical history, which, incidentally, is clear of any psychological disorder, and statements from her attending physicians and nursing staff at the Kingsley General Hospital.
Thank you.
And you'll also find that everything there points to Mrs. Mason being a responsible and stable adult.
Yes, of course it does, Miss Greeley. That's your job. Everything here seems to be in order.
Yes.
Would you tell me why it bothers you that I'm a woman? Were you expecting to come in here and charm some man into siding with you?
Look, I'm sorry for the way I acted.
It's just that there's so few of us in this profession, particularly in the one you hold.
That's true.
The last thing I'd want to do is to insult you professionally or personally. Believe me, I know what that's like.
I'm sorry I came on so strong. Reflex action, I guess. You see, I worked very hard to get where I am today. And you did appear to be what they used to call the flighty female. And I have fought against that stereotype every step of my career.
I have too. I just hope I can prove to you that first impressions can be wrong.
Yes, well, although I would never admit it publicly, I do feel that we need to stick together a little more than our male counterparts. Which doesn't mean to say that I might not find that Mr. Carpenter's attorney has presented a clearer case than yours. Good day, Miss Greeley.
Good day.
I don't understand what you're trying to tell me, honey.
Mommy, if I made a big mess like this, she'd be mad.
I'm sorry, honey. I'll try to be neater. Now, it's really very simple. Okay, just look. No, that's not it. Okay, here. Now, just for fun, pretend that we have that much coming in every month.
Huh. All right, just for fun.
Now, just bear with me for a minute.
Hey, looky what I can do.
Oh, honey, don't disturb anything now. Okay, now, we have the mortgage payments, the utility bills, food, clothing, the loan on the van, gas, and tithe. Well, you're familiar with it.
Yeah, it sounds all too familiar.
Well, you take all that, and you subtract it from that figure that I gave you in the beginning.
The one you picked just for fun.
Yeah, and what do you think we'll have left over each month?
Well, I don't know. Why don't you pick twice that amount or 3 times that amount? It's all wishful thinking anyway.
Well, not if we had someone who was interested in the bookstore.
If, Liz, if. You know, the bookstore's not exactly what realtors call hot prospect.
Well, it is if someone's interested in buying it.
Is someone?
Yes.
Who?
Beth Slaymaker.
Oh, you're not serious.
I am, absolutely.
Well, how much?
A very generous price. Where do you think I got my income for each month?
You know what this means?
Enough money for graduate school! Yay!
I don't believe this. We can pay all these. Praise the Lord.
So what's the news, Tammy?
According to this, Elvis Presley was an extraterrestrial.
That doesn't surprise me. How about a beer?
Oh, sure. You know, they say he didn't die, just went back to his other solar system.
Come on, Tammy. I mean, don't be cruel to a heart that's true.
Your heart's true, all right. True to the one that's pouring the beer. And that's one beer coming up. Bad habit, drinking alone.
Well, now that you're here, I'm not alone, right?
You hold up better from a distance, kiddo.
Such has been the cry of many fair maidens.
I'll bet. Where's the cheer section?
Yeah, who needs them?
Just asking. What are you doing here anyway? This isn't your usual afternoon watering hole.
Well, how dare you insinuate I take my business somewhere else?
Who's insinuating? I'm saying it right out.
Well, the truth is, I lost my license. My dear old sister has been chauffeuring me around. And your establishment is the place we mutually agreed upon.
Hooray.
Hey, come on, be nice. Or no tip.
Why start now?
Just found out what happened to Peter earlier this afternoon.
Yeah, what was that?
Don't give me that line. You know what I'm talking about.
So?
So, do you always let kids fight your battles for you?
What battles?
Not telling your father?
Why would I do a dumb thing like that?
Because now Peter's job is on the line.
Hey, if a kid wants to be a hot hero, hey, that's his problem.
You afraid to tell him?
Hey, why don't you get lost?
But I come too close to the truth there?
No, you didn't. As a matter of fact, I was just gonna go down there and tell him.
When?
That's none of your business.
Well, let's go down and tell him right now, hotshot.
Go take a hike.
I got it out in here.
You know who's gonna make me?
I am.
When?
Right now.
Well, let's go outside.
I'd love to. Great.
Going.
Just sit down. I'll be back in 1 second.
Well, at least we haven't lost our ability to conduct a rational conversation.
Let's hope that's not all we haven't lost.
Oh, come on. I thought I put all those thoughts to rest.
Hey, Dad. Look what I brought you.
Oh, what happened to you?
Oh, it's funny you should ask.
Knock it off, would you?
I think I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, why don't you join her?
Oh, here, let me give you a hand over there.
Oh, and this all the fun?
Mary Ann!
Bye.
The other fella look as bad?
Yeah? Hey, you know that incident about the beer, and not that it's important or anything, but I was the one who bought it.
Yeah, I figured as much. I was hoping you'd set it straight. Doesn't make it right, but it helps.
Try not to be so emotional, Dad.